morning to you too, Mr. Toman, and your viewers at home.
What's the latest coming from Eswatini? What have you heard?
Well, other than that, the SADC team has written, has indicated that they would be going back to Swaziland on a proper fact-finding mission. That has happened, and we also know that the civil society and political parties, trade union movement, have called for the continuation of the mass protest. What we also know is that the internet is on and off inside the country, so it's still a little bit difficult to communicate, but it's slowly coming back. But of course, the people had to develop their own ways of reconnecting. So that's what is happening. And like I said last night, the number of deaths of the massacre, it currently stands at 54. And those that are still injured in different parts of the hospitals in and around the country still stands at more than 200. So in a nutshell, that's where we are right now.
So do we have an official death toll from the government or the armed forces or the authorities in its entirety with regards to the death toll and the casualties?
Well, the Swaziland government initially denied that there are dead people or injuries, but they've suddenly come out to now acknowledge that they've killed 29, that they are reducing the number to 29. Somehow they're in agreement that they've killed these innocent people. So there's no official figure as of yet except the 29 that I'm just mentioning, which still fits into the massacre itself.
Okay. And we understand that borders have been closed. What's your understanding of whether this is still the situation? Are the borders still closed or open?
Well, the borders, they're still closed, but the ones that are heavily affected due to protest from the South African side, it is your Mananga border gate and Matamo, which is Jeppes Reef that links the Pigs Peak border. Oshuk, it's partially open, but maybe what they do, they open for a few hours, minutes, and then it closes down again. So that's why there is a crisis of trucks now dragging up to more than 5 kilometers from the border gate on the South African side. And what also we know is that due to that, the king controls the transportation of trucks. For instance, he owns a company called the Southern Star, which transport mainly fuel into the country. The country is now running out of fuel because he fears that if he allows the trucks to enter Swaziland, they may be bent down. And we know for a fact they are all parked in a small town in KwaZulu-Natal called Pongol.
You know, Lucky, when I spoke to you last night on a different show on this platform, and I asked you whether there's been an extension, there's been an invitation extended to you by the government and authorities for meaningful dialogue between the monarchy, the government authorities, and all affected parties and stakeholders, including the political parties. And none of them said they were actually invited to such a dialogue. So are you still maintaining that position? Has there any been communication coming forth from the country's authorities?
Well, we don't have, the people of Swaziland, I don't think they expect an invitation from the murderous regime of King Mswati. But we are still waiting for a formal communication from SADC, other than the statement that they issued. So it remains a statement, but there is no formality that says, yes, we are asking you to come and meet us at this particular venue. However, if that does happen, we want to indicate again to SADC that they must beef up their fact-finding team with a team of technocrats, highly trained people that knows how to investigate these atrocities, including meeting families of these victims, all of them across the board, not what we heard or we saw on Sunday calling itself a fact-finding mission. I don't know what it is. It was just a team of fellow Africans in vacation in Swaziland.
You know, Lucky, you and as well as the other political parties operating in the Kingdom of Eswatini are calling for a prime minister who is directly elected by the people, who will be serving the interests of the people and not necessarily the interest of the appointing authority. So what does that mean then in terms of the powers of the monarch? Would that clip the powers of the monarch, or would are we going to likely to see a situation where the prime minister rules concurrently with the king?
Well, I think it is a victimization to expect the people of Swaziland to even think of a family when the people of Swaziland are there are 1.2 million.
All right, we seem to have lost Lucky Lukhele there. He is a spokesperson of the Swaziland Solidarity Network, which is a group of Swazi nations or Swazi citizens who are based in South Africa and as well as different parts of the continent. And he has been commenting on the latest developments coming out of Swaziland. And please note that we are trying by all means to get all sides of the story, but we've been having incredible difficulty getting to the office of the acting Prime Minister, Themba Masuku. And I've been told by the spokesperson, Sabelo Dlamini, that he's locked in meetings all day and late into the night. But we'll try to bring you more details and from different angles as much as we possibly can. This is the agenda on SABC News. Let's take a quick break.